You have one of these lives. Whether there's reincarnation, or we all just become one consciousness, you only have one of these lives as who you are right now. One of these beautiful lives where we get to experience planet Earth. The only planet that's even remotely, the only planet we really know of that can have life and sustain life, we live on. A giant ball of hot gas millions of miles away is sustaining us. That's not wild. The actual probability for us to even be here, for you to be here, for there to be animals like deer to be here. This is a gift. This right here, this life is a gift. And we get to experience this. We get to move through whatever we karmically have been asked to move through. That whatever you went through in your past is now something you need to work through now in this present moment so that you can start to see the beauty again. Hey, yo, peace out, dear. You get the opportunity to specifically heal whatever your wounds have been. You get to be the one to break the chains of your generational wounds. You get to break the chains of the trauma that your parents and their parents and their parents and so and so and so on, all the way down, that they trickled into you. You get to be that. You get to be the chosen one that doesn't instill that into your kids. That's beautiful. That is a gift. And if you don't see that yet, I understand. Maybe you've been through a lot. I've been through a lot too. And my dad passed away when I was 16. My parents got divorced when I was like 6. My dad got divorced twice. I went through a grueling breakup that was a 4.5 year relationship. Thought we were soulmates from 18 to 22, all through college, high school sweetheart, and it broke my heart. And it kind of re-traumatized me on my dad passing because I was like, I don't know who I am at all. But I don't resent any of it. I don't regret it. I don't wish it was different. And even if there's feelings of certain things that I wish were different, there's nothing I can do. It's already been scribed into the timelessness of this existence. It's already there. It was already meant to happen because it did. Now what I get to do is learn from it. What I get to do is alchemize it, turn it into a different kind of energy, turn it into love, turn it into wisdom, turn it into what I'm doing right now. And we get that beautiful opportunity because there's things like YouTube. There's things like the internet that we've created. From what? If you're watching this on a phone or a computer, do you realize that a phone and a computer are both made from precious minerals, precious rocks, like rocks, pretty much just rocks. All these things that we've created are just from rocks or oil or things from the sea. Like, what? Just like materials that we found and we just, boom, create a cell phone. Boom, create a laptop. Boom, create this mic. Boom, create the internet. Like, that's insane. But we don't think about that because, yes, if you're kind of stuck in survival, you're just thinking about getting food, your next paycheck, getting roofing, getting an apartment, and so on. And then you kind of go into like the high, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and you keep going up that. But if you're in a place where you have a job, it's fairly stable, and you're just looking for more, right? Like if you have the base level of like, okay, I'm making enough money to just like survive. Okay, then next is like, okay, well, do you have community? Do you have people? Right? And then after that, it's kind of like, do you have meaning? You have meaning and purpose in your life, right? And then we go further up. Do you have self-actualization, which is, do you know yourself so deeply that you've done the work to alchemize the shadows that have kind of been in the way of you really thriving, of you really living your life, of you really knowing who you are? Because here's the thing. If you don't know who you are, everything you're doing is trying to figure out who you are. Everything you're doing is trying to put a mask or identity onto a part of you that is never going to change, a part of you that's eternal. That right there is this game of life. Is that you're consistently trying to create identities and masks to create meaning about who you are. And most of those things are from your past. But once you strip that away, once you heal that, once you really find your core and you find the center of your heart, that is love, you start to realize all those masks were just to meet your basic needs that you didn't get when you were a child. That really what you were looking for was just a sense of validation, or a sense of belonging, or a sense of purpose, or just to feel loved for who you are unconditionally, or to feel heard or seen or understood, to feel safe. That's what you really wanted. And once you meet those needs, instead of trying to do it all outside of you through all these kind of neurotic ways that we get into, once you really do that, you do the work, you sit with yourself, you be in community with people who are also healing, go on retreats, you hire a coach, you do plant medicine, or you just journal and meditate, or you just be in stillness with yourself. Once you do all those things, then you start to realize everything you've been doing has been to meet those needs. And when you no longer need to meet those needs, what would you do instead? You would just do things for the joy of it. You would just do things for the love of it. You just do things from your heart because you want to, not because you feel like you need to meet some part of you or to fill some part of you that feels unfulfilled. No, you would just do it because it's just your natural way of being now. Because once you kind of heal all the parts of you that you believe are broken, you realize you've been whole this whole time. Because you're not broken. Even if you feel like it, you're not. And to say, even if you are, it's still an illusion. It's still an illusion. Can you love the part of you that feels broken? Can you love the part of you that judges you for feeling broken? Can you love the part of you that is angry that you feel broken? Can you love all of those parts of you? And then see what comes from that. What emerges as you learn to love yourself more, as you learn to love every part of you, especially the parts of you you don't want to love, especially the parts of you you love the least. That right there is when you will realize that what you've been looking for this entire time has been your love and acceptance and permission to go out into life and make it your own. To not have those excuses, to not live by fear, to not live from scarcity, but to live fully in yourself, as yourself, to reinvent yourself whenever you please, to not let others justify who you are, to not let others dictate who you are, but you say, this is who I am and this is who I'm going to be, whether you like it or not. And that attracts your tribe. That attracts the people you actually want in your life, not the people that need you to be a certain way to be liked or to be loved. Just like you healing the part of you that feels like you need to be a certain way for you to like and love yourself. Because that right there is where we start to live in a world where people are all authentically aligned with who they are. And that creates natural peace, natural harmony. And even outside of peace and harmony, it just creates a world where people are being real. People are being true to themselves. They're not wearing all these masks. They're not being fake. Not trying to control everybody else. People are just accepting who other people are. And I accept that I don't. Like, I accept that I love you for who you are. And I accept the part of me that just doesn't. I don't want to hang out with you. I'm not in alignment with that. But you're true to you. So, boom, go do your thing. And that's where we can live in a world where people are just true. People are just honest. And they're not trying to fake anymore. All right, guys. Till next time. Peace.